I'd like to call the February 7th, 2022 Common Council meeting to order. We will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. Councilman Frankie.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Clerk Treasurer Barthune.
Councilman Frankie.
Present.
Councilwoman Ficus.
Present.
Councilman Vincent.
Here.
Councilman Galloway.
Here.
Councilwoman Konechny.
Here.
Councilwoman West.
Here.
Councilman Cutler.
Present.
All present.
Councilwoman
Can you believe
Cutler,
it?
I apologize. I
just didn't want to
see,
hear
so
me.
please allow Councilwoman Cutler to call the pledge.
Oh,
My sincere apologies.
That's okay.
We are going to move public comment up. We have a very important guest in our midst. So Bert Cook, if you don't mind coming up and introducing a new great partner in our community.
Yeah, good evening, Mayor and City Council. Bert Cook, Executive Director of the Laporte Economic Advancement Partnership. Very pleased tonight to be able to introduce Keith Nichols, the new CEO of Laporte and Stark Hospitals. I've had the pleasure of working with Keith about 90 days or so now at this point, and he'll tell you a little bit about his story and how he got here, but I've been really impressed with his leadership so far. I know that our hospital is in really good hands and excited for him to implement some of his new measures in the community. So appreciate the opportunity to introduce him this evening.
Welcome, Keith.
Man, I didn't pay him either to say that. Well, I appreciate the opportunity, guys, to visit with you. I obviously got a chance to see you earlier. I know, I'm sorry, I'm a little taller. I've been here about 91 days. I joined the group from Texas originally. You hear the accent, I'm sure, sometimes. Before that was Arizona as well. CEO for 90 days now. I will tell you, and I appreciate Bert, and I talked a little bit about it today, the partnership I felt here when I first arrived with the community has been outstanding. There are 3 guiding principles that I've shared with the team, and I want to continue to make sure that's the founding principles for who we are and what we do. It's love one another. We're in healthcare. That's our expectation. It's welcome feedback because we're never perfect. We make mistakes, and then we lead change with those opportunities. At the end of the day, the expectations are Laporte, Northwest, and Stark, both, are leaders in all of healthcare. And I will tell you, it's been fun to watch a little bit of the journey already, just around patient experience. That's our kind of testimonial of how are we for those that need us the most. We started in the 20th percentile when I arrived here in November. We've struggled a little bit with COVID. And just through some of the teamworks, we've been able to collaborate around with those guiding principles. We're now in the 80th percentile for the month of January. Expectations are 90th. So I'm excited. I really appreciate the opportunity. Partnership is important for us as we serve the community in need. So I look forward to work with each of you.
Questions for CEO Nichols or comments? Because I'm very excited. The partnership has already been fantastic, and I know we'd rather see him out at the other hospitals doing his work than being here, but any comments?
No, just welcome.
Thank you both. I appreciate everybody too. Good to see you again.
Good to see you as well.
Nick
So
Otis
the
will.
main hospital office opened last year or 2 ago now. Did the new phase just open as well?
Yeah, the MOB,
Okay.
next door to the hospital. That's a new medical office building. Part of our synergy efforts, bringing patients and doctors closer to the care process, we were able to put some of our providers that were scattered amongst the community into that building, general surgery being one, cardiovascular being another, GI is in there, oncology. We've got wound care with bariatric, with the dive chambers for those patients that need it. And we also have some other service lines we're going to add to it. So great addition. It's 3 stories. It'll be a great opportunity for us to serve the community. Good question. And on that note, we do have some other expansions I wanted to share with you as well, if I can. Just to continue to expand access for the community is big for us. We've got some other MOBs going on up north towards Johnson Road to add more primary care for the northern piece of Laporte, as well as we're continuing to expand urgent care and other access points. I mentioned it in Rotary. My kids get sick at 6:30 on a Friday night, and we need care at that point, not Monday morning. So we're trying to find a way for that to be something we do. So
That's great.
Thank you, Keith. Welcome again, and go do your business.
thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
I think a reminder to the council, and I think Mr. Galloway and maybe Ms. Ficus were on the council when you decided to not allow utilities outside the city limits. This development is part of that, and so the additional medical office building is another huge component to the tax base for the community, so.
Great. I do not have any other public comment. Is there anybody that would like to speak that hasn't put up a card? Maybe our police department would like to speak about ERT equipment? We trust you.
You want us to talk about that now, Mayor?
No, you're all right. We trust you. We will then move to approval of minutes. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve the minutes is presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor state by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Standing committee reports. Councilman Frankie. I'll move to Councilwoman Ficus.
Park Board met on January 19th. An election of officers for the upcoming year was held. Officers will remain the same. Mitch Ficus, President, Nicole Messacar, Vice President, and Roberta Mumma, Secretary. Alex Schreikner was recognized for his Eagle Scout project. He is a Boy Scout in Troop 396, and he helped with improvements at the Rumley basketball court. He helped install poles, backboards, rims, and also designed and constructed a 48-foot bench. He raised $1,600 in donations to help make these improvements happen. His dad, Chris, also spoke at the meeting and said that Troop 396 would like to partner with the Park Department to help get other small projects done. Permission was given for a trail run to be held March 19th at Soldiers Memorial Park. Permission was also given for Beechwood Golf Pro Kyle Kashmer to attend the PGA Spring Meeting in Muncie. The board unanimously voted to allow horses in the park for the wagon rides on the Sunday for Winterfest. That had already taken place. Laporte Chrysler was unable to get 2 of the Jeep Latitudes that the park board was authorized to purchase through the ARP funds, so they are willing to provide at the same price 2 Jeep Grand Cherokees that they have on the lot currently. The board unanimously approved the amended purchase. The board also approved providing a letter of support for a planning assistance grant through the Indiana Department of Health that will allow a revision of the Greenway Master Plan. It is a 50-50 grant for up to $20,000. And then last, Jace Peterson has accepted the position of the golf superintendent at Beechwood Golf Course. He was previously the assistant superintendent at Innsbrook Country Club in Maryville.
Thank you. I'm sorry we're having a few technical difficulties. Councilman Vincent.
No report this evening.
Councilman Frankie.
The Redevelopment Commission met on Wednesday, January 26th. It was a quick meeting. The public offering for real estate purchase and development for the land near Walmart was given a final read-through. The Don George Ford property is officially down, and an update was given on the Clear Lake Trail and Truesdale Ave reconstruction project. Meeting was adjourned after that. And then the Diversity and Inclusion Committee met on, when was it? I think it was last Thursday. There's a new member, Susie. I'll butcher her last name. I don't know if you want to take a shot at it.
No, I'll let you go ahead.
It was a good about an hour-long discussion on where the committee sees 2022 heading in terms of their efforts, and it was basically some planning and strategizing, but a good meeting. The school board meets next week on Wednesday at let me make sure I got the date right, but that's at, Monday, the 14th at the old Boston Middle School.
Councilman Galloway.
Police Merit Commission meets tomorrow, 2 o'clock at the police station. And on February 26th, the VFW's got a fishing derby, and we're making plans for our 85th anniversary. The VFW should be this spring.
Great. Councilwoman Cutler.
At the January Business Improvement District Board meeting, new member Don Melchiori was welcomed, and the main topic of conversation was the need for a banner schedule for downtown. Requests from the Laporte County Symphony Orchestra, Laporte High School Sports, and Laporte High School Music Department were all discussed. The bid and the city planning office will be taking all current requests into consideration when creating that 2022 schedule. The bid will meet this month on Monday, February 14th at 5 p.m. at City Hall. And at the January Urban Enterprise Board meeting, new members Scott Cooley and Jim Barnhart were welcomed. Applications for business improvement grants for 2022 are now being accepted. Businesses within the zone can find the application on the city website under the UEA. You can also contact Mary Ann Richards in the city planning office for assistance. And the UEA will meet this month on Wednesday, February 16th at 4 p.m. at City Hall.
Councilwoman West.
Due to the weather last week, the Fire Merit Commission meeting was rescheduled to this Wednesday, February 9th, and there will be no Plan Commission meeting this week due to no applications being submitted at this time.
Councilwoman Konechny.
Airport Authority will meet this Wednesday, February 9th at 5:15 via Zoom. And the Historic Preservation Commission will meet next Tuesday, February 15th at 5:30. Location is still to be determined.
Thank you all. And I joke with our police department here, members, but, you know, we've committed as a cornerstone, we are going to have a safe community. And we're talking developing an ERT team, a high-risk team. And, you know, we have too many high-risk warrants, individuals that are in our community. We need to be knocking doors, knocking them in, and removing people that do not want to live their lives appropriately and safely in our community. And to do that, we've got to have the equipment to allow them to be safe. So you'll be hearing from the members to prepare that there's potential federal funds that we could use to pay for the equipment necessary to take even a more aggressive approach in the city of Laporte. So you will be hearing from each of them. Clerk Treasurer Parthun, Annual Investment Report.
On an annual basis, the state requires the clerk treasurer to present the council with an annual investment report. For 2021, the city of Laporte earned $9,208.03 for 7 different funds that are invested in the state's Hoosier Fund with Lake City Bank. The Hoosier Fund is a money market fund allowed by state statute specifically for units of government per Indiana Code 36-1-7-1. Funds are pooled together in an effort to earn more interest as advised by Baker Tilly. We earn interest daily and can access the funds if needed within 24 hours with no penalties. The current rate is a daily yield of 0.30%. We have been investing in the Hoosier Fund for the past 10 years. Additionally, interest earned on the city's checking accounts for 2021 was $47,045.83 between 18 checking accounts at local banks. No action is needed from the council. This is for informational purposes only. And I
Questions?
provided those in your packets.
Questions? Thank you, Clerk Treasurer Parthun. We will move an item up. Councilwoman Konechny, second and final reading.
Your Honor, I'd like to make a motion to read an ordinance for the second time by title only.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Discussion? Hearing none. All in favor state by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Councilwoman Konechny.
An ordinance creating Section 2-103 in Chapter 2 of the Laporte Municipal Code establishing a commission on sustainability.
Discussion?
I have a question. Are any of the current tree commission people going to be on this, or is this a whole new, will there be, and will you continue to be liaison as you were liaison for tree?
I think that's still to be determined. I know some of the tree commission commissioners were approached due to the new time commitment and the vast expansion of what this commission's going to tend to. Trees certainly still a focus. I don't believe that we've received an affirmative from any one of the previous commissioners.
Okay, thank you.
We want to wait until we know this will pass. And I think you've heard us talk about the ARP funds using the affordable housing opportunity. We're going to be having that committee taking place, and I think Councilwoman Konechny's best area moving forward will be on that housing study. And I think you could see that Council President Frankie may show an interest in the sustainability committee, so we could see that moving forward.
Okay.
Further discussion before he can change his mind? Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Further discussion? All in favor, state by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0, 7-0. We're excited about this. I think this will put Laporte into the future with sustainability, and Sarah Nimitz better be ready to start moving. Okay, so now I'm going to move, you've all heard the public safety, local income tax presentation, and this is something that's gaining momentum around the county. You hear the problems, not with just the city of Laporte. When you've heard me mention, we've got high-risk warrants being served with bicycle-type helmets for our officers. We have a lot of issues, but you see the sheriff's department, the jail, Michigan City down close to 15 officers. You've seen the problems, we've talked about it. I want to give this presentation before the vote is taken just one more time and answer any questions. We believe the future is now when it comes to public safety. We've seen the head topics on the Herald Dispatch. Just physically cannot do it anymore, where EMS has 900 more calls this year than last year, yet they can't keep staff. They are struggling, where they're sending an ambulance from Michigan City to Laporte to deal with dire situations that are time related. You've seen this related to Michigan City. Gun violence is the new health crisis. And then third and final, sharp rise in overdose deaths, where Lynn Swanson, our county coroner, states the numbers are staggering. So this is not just about the city of Laporte. This is about Laporte County, and this is about what 71 of 92 counties have done to begin addressing public safety. And I want to remind those that say, you're just tax and spend. All you do is want more, more, more. I think it's important to recognize Laporte County as a whole, government, libraries, schools, cities, and towns, give back $32 million in property tax relief, thank you to the property tax caps, that comes right out of local units' government budget. So we lose 25% of our budget, and it goes right back to homeowners and homeowner relief. So I'm not sure what businesses are able to survive with a cut or loss of 25%, yet not be able to reduce the services that are provided and expect the same equal high levels of service with 25% less. The one option we have is what the General Assembly gave us, which is local income tax called a LIT, that we would have the opportunity to raise if our county council, as you're all aware, would support it. Now, our county council, after the presentation we made 2 weeks ago, said we need every local unit in Laporte County to vote in support of an income tax rate increase that supports public safety only. So any increase would only go to public safety. And so when you look here, Laporte County as a whole, compared to its similar and regional counties, Laporte's income tax, local income tax rate is 0.95. When you look at, and many people always say Pulaski, Jasper are very conservative counties, their local income tax rate is at 2.85 and 2.86. You compare to where Laporte is and you see progressive counties, Lake, Stark, Marshall, St. Joseph. You see where we compare to those local rates, to those comparable other county rates. And then let's look at Indiana's local income tax rate. The state average, not the state high, but the state average is 1.7816%. When you look at Laporte County, we're the sixth lowest. So we have proposed a 0.50 increase for public safety that would bring us to a 1.45%. That is still almost 20% lower, not than the state high, but than the state average. 20% lower than the state average. And you see the progressive growing communities and where they are in local income tax rates. So what does that mean to specific individuals that are receiving taxable income? At the lowest end, we're always concerned about those making low wages, low income. If you look at somebody making $20,000 a year, their additional income payment would be $8.33 a month to fund public safety. And when you talk to different people making $80,000, $100,000, $33, $41 a month, they want public safety. Businesses who have put out, thanks to Bert Cook at LEAP, have stated, we want safety first. And so we're willing to pay this, and they recognize how low, what we're asking and how low our income tax rate is. Charity from Hotspot has been willing to make presentations to those businesses downtown and get their support for our police, fire, and not only in the city of Laporte, but county-wide within all our communities. Because when you look at this and you see where our budget is, Laporte County at a .50 would generate $6.7 million that they can use in a variety of ways. But most importantly, the civil city of Laporte, $1.8 million to provide. This isn't just about raises. This is about adding individuals when we're working on shifts that barely have 4 people to a shift, when we really are 8 to 10 officers short to truly keep our growing community safe. And this would generate $12.8 million in income tax. And when you see countywide that we're giving $32 million back in property tax relief, we're only asking a small portion back through income tax to help pay with what everybody wants, and that's public safety. And then here are the allowable uses and why LaPorte County should be so interested in passing this. You can use it for community corrections, juvenile detention, the jail, all different types of pension payments, law enforcement systems. When you talk about when we took over and this administration and council took over and we have foam coming through our cars and we expect those young officers to stay in LaPorte to drive around these automobiles and be paid the lowest of any surrounding police department, that's a problem. So we've done what we had to do for the next couple years, but we need to increase our police officers. We need to have equipment, not only to keep them safe, but to keep our community safe. So I thought this was important to share. Are there any questions? I know you've all seen this, but we think most importantly, we support public safety. It's about life and death, not dollars and cents. Because people say, we don't want to pay for it until you need it. And then when you need it, what does that cost for? So I will be glad to answer any questions about this presentation. We have opened it up to the public. If anybody from the public would like to speak or ask questions, I'd be glad to do so at this time.
Want to comment on who's passed it so far?
We have Kingsford Heights that is hearing this same presentation today. And last week, we presented to Wanata, the town of Wanata, which passed 5-0. So we are getting great support throughout, and we hope to continue to build on this momentum and get this passed so we can bring back to the county council, because I assume the reason the county council is asking us for this, that every town that comes back and passes it, that then the county council, I can't see how they would not pass this after asking us to do all this groundwork. I assume it's going to be a 7-0 vote after everybody in the county passes it. So that's the expectation. I can't imagine anybody on the county council voting against this after seeing all this support. So with that, any other questions? Hearing none. Councilman Frankie, introduction of a resolution.
Your Honor, I move to introduce a resolution read in its entirety for the first time.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Discussion. Hearing none. All in favor, state by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Councilman Frankie.
A resolution supporting the Laporte County Common Council establishing a public safety local income tax. Be it resolved by the Common Council of the City of Laporte, Indiana, that a need now exists to modify the local income tax rates imposed within the county. The City of Laporte Common Council supports the Laporte County Common Council passing a resolution establishing a public safety local income tax, herein referred to as LIT, of 0.5%. Whereas the local governmental units of Laporte County are facing a public safety crisis, whereas the police departments, fire departments, sheriff's department, Laporte County EMS, and first responder departments in Laporte County have lost experienced employees to departments in other counties due to the inability to pay competitive wages and benefits. Whereas first responder calls for service in Laporte County have dramatically increased, including a 20% increase in overdose deaths in Laporte County in 2021. Whereas the City of Michigan City Common Council has identified gun violence as the new health crisis. Whereas in 2021, the residents of Laporte County received $32.6 million in property tax relief from the state of Indiana, and the proposed public safety lit will generate an estimated $12.85 million in revenue for the public safety in Laporte County to offset the state of Indiana property tax cap. Whereas the public safety lit is the only sustainable source of revenue for a promising and secure future to fund public safety in Laporte County. Whereas all 92 counties in the state of Indiana have a lit, and 71 of Indiana's 92 counties have a public safety lit, and the state average lit is 1.7816%. Whereas Laporte County currently has a lit of 0.95%, and with the passage of the public safety lit at 0.5%, the Laporte County total lit would be 1.45%, which is below the state average lit. Whereas approved uses of the public safety lit, Indiana Code Section 6-3.6-2-14 include police law enforcement systems to preserve public peace and order, firefighting and fire prevention systems, emergency ambulances and emergency medical services, emergency action, environmental cleanup, probation department of the courts, community correction programs, juvenile detention centers and facilities, county jail, communication systems, or enhanced emergency telephone systems, medical and healthcare expenses for inmates, and pension payments for police officers and other department employees, firefighters and other department employees, sheriff and other members of the department, other personnel providing public safety services. Whereas the Laporte County Common Council has requested all local units of government located in Laporte County pass a resolution supporting the passage of a public safety lit. Be it further resolved, the City of Laporte Common Council supports the Laporte County Common Council passing a public safety lit of 0.5%, and the need now exists to modify the local income tax rates imposed within the county in the following way. Local income tax type, certified shares, Indiana Code Section 6.3.6-6, the existing rate 0.95%, proposed rate 0.95%, no change. Public safety, Indiana Code Section 6-3.6-6, the existing rate 0%, proposed rate 0.5%. The local income tax rates proposed above will become effective on October 1, 2022, based on the Laporte County Common Council passing the public safety lit by March 31, 2022. The local income tax rates proposed above will remain in effect until modified or repealed by the Laporte County Common Council. End of resolution.
Since this is a resolution, it can pass or fail this evening. A couple points. We do want to make sure the public is involved and can ask any questions. We were just informed Kingsford Heights passed momentarily. It just passed this evening, so there's another one. And I would encourage anybody that has questions about our city budget, they're welcome to come in, meet with our clerk treasurer Parthune, myself, about where we prioritize, where we're spending our money, and look forward to that. Sometimes you have to make decisions that are right and that are doing the right thing for our community, not so much worrying about what your political party or what your next election looks like. And I will tell you, this is what's doing right for our community and keeping them safe. We do have some questions here that we'd like to ask or answer. Go ahead,
Yep,
Dustin Johnson.
Yeah, he asked actually two questions, but they're pretty much the same in terms of the allocation of the money. So, Mayor, if you could explain how the money comes into the county and then how it's dispersed to the different localities.
The income tax comes through countywide. Everybody pays it, Laporte countywide. And then the percentages, why we say the percentages stay within the community that you're in, is because whatever your levy is, so if your levy is 20% of the overall county levy, you then get 20% of your income tax. So basically, and that was a question Wanata had, was if that your money basically stays here. But the great response in Wanata was, they said, do we give money? We don't want to give money to Laporte and Michigan City. And the great response by one of our own officers, Michael Lapel, were, do you ever come to Laporte for groceries? Do you ever come to Laporte for dinner? You know, we're the ones writing an accident report if you have a problem. EMS are the ones here in Laporte that are, if you have a heart attack, that are gonna be here. So, you know, those services, you're not paying for in Laporte. We're not asking if you're from Laporte or if you're from Wanata. And we have sent officers, when the sheriff's department is down, we've sent our city officers down to help county officers. So we are truly in this together, but for the basic answer, you keep with what you're putting in based on the levy. And that's why 71 of 92 counties have passed this public safety lit.
The levy is the property tax levy, correct? Okay.
It's that first piece of the pie that you saw on the presentation.
But it's percentage-wise. There's no property tax that comes out. It's strictly local income tax. Further questions? Further questions from the public? Anybody from South Central like to comment? Do I have a motion to pass?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor state by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Awful quiet back there. Other business.
Your Honor, I move to take off the table the ordinance designating 1403 Indiana Avenue, George Wood Allen House as a single-site historic preservation district within the city of Laporte.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Discussion?
This was requested by the owners, correct?
Correct.
Further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor state by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Then now I make a motion to withdraw the request. Correct? Because that was just a motion to untable it, and now I need to, okay.
Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Councilwoman Ficus, further discussion?
No, I just, the owners, I guess they have sold the property, so they just want to withdraw their motion of having, you know, this ordinance that we have been discussing before, so I just make the motion to withdraw it.
I do have a motion and a second. All in favor state by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Thank you. Other business. Don't forget, we have a third house discussion this Friday at, Bert, if you don't mind coming up and sharing the information on this Friday.
Yeah, so appreciate it, Mayor. We have our third House session. We've got 6 legislators. So we have State Representative Jim Pressel, State Senator Mike Bohacek, Sheila Matias from our President of our County Commissioners, Randy Novak, County Council President, Mayor Dermody, and Councilman Frankie that are going to be there. We're excited. We've got almost a full house, so we are a little bit limited. We're doing it at the Performing Arts Center at Laporte High School. If you haven't been to that venue, and I think most of you have at one time or another, I highly encourage you to check it out. It's terrific for events like this, but we'll be able to spread everybody out, and we'll get an update on state, county, and local legislative actions, and I anticipate a really good discussion and maybe some lively debate going on as well. So if you'd like to attend, we'd love to have you. Just let me know, and got a few seats still available.
I know the police and fire were very interested in attending based on the lit and those that are in opposition of it, so looking for answers as well.
Also, if you have questions that you'd like to have answered, you can send those to me. There will be an opportunity to write those in the day of the event. And when we do start, we've got some networking at 8, and the event will start right at 8:15. But if you're not able to make it, but you have something you'd like answered, you can email that over to me, and we'll be happy to ask the question during the event.
And we assume there'll be small breakfast or something.
I thought you were making breakfast for everyone. I forgot about that. No, we'd love for you to attend, though, if you can.
Well, you just went right over that question.
I did.
Les.
I did.
All right, thank you. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor state by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0. We are adjourned.